Some significant news that was breaking overnight. Quote, "We are ready to talk." That is the message from Savannah Guthrie sending to whomever may have abducted her mom. The family addressing their missing mother and her captor in an emotional video with the search now in its 5th day. Dana.
Savannah Guthrie and her siblings posted the video on Instagram. They thank everyone who's been praying for them and urge their mother to stay strong and plead with whoever took her to please reach out.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon.
We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
You imagine the emotions that they're experiencing now. Officials, again, asking the public for any help as they try and push through the investigation. The number's on your screen, 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's the tip line that they've been putting out for several days now.
And we have Fox team coverage. Paul Mauro is there now, and he's standing by at the Pima County Sheriff's Department. But let's start with Alicia Acuna. She is in Tucson, Arizona with this update. Good morning.
Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Bill. Investigators returned to Nancy Guthrie's home late in the day on Wednesday, and we saw both local and federal authorities, including Border Patrol with canines, back at the scene. It was cordoned off with police tape while they searched the property. Agents could be seen tracing the back of the home and also the garage. The Pima County Sheriff's Department previously said the scene had been cleared but had follow-up work. Law enforcement also spent time at Savannah Guthrie's sister Annie's home. The family is believed to be gathered there. It's possible agents assisted the Guthrie children in making the video released last night.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you.
NBC reports sources tell them Guthrie's pacemaker appeared to be disconnected from its monitoring app early in the morning on Sunday. The Sheriff's Department in a statement saying, quote, "We have not released specific timeframes related to this device. As previously stated, investigators are working to review any available data that may assist in this investigation." The Sheriff's Department is also attempting to knock down rumors and reports that they have identified a potential suspect. The department says that's not true, adding unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist the investigation, reiterating they do not have a suspect or person of interest. Dana, we are expecting a law enforcement news conference later on today. So many questions still outstanding. Dana.
Alicia, thank you. Bill?
So we want to show you some video from our Fox News digital team. This is a sped up version of the likely and the shortest route home that Nancy Guthrie took with her family on Saturday night, the last time she was seen alive. Okay, you see some words on the screen that kind of helps you a little bit. Here's what we understand about the route, just for our audience at home. It's 4.3 miles. Without traffic, it's 11 minutes, Dana. There are some speed bumps along the way, a few major intersections, but it's mostly residential back roads. Based on what the sheriff was saying the other day, Nancy Guthrie, the mom, had dinner with her daughter, Annie, and her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, I believe is how they say. That was on Saturday evening, and then the son-in-law dropped Nancy Guthrie off at the home and made sure that she made it inside. That was around 9:30 or 9:45 on Saturday evening.
And the other thing I think that you can notice in this video is that is a desert landscape, of course, is the southwest part of the country. There are not a lot of street lights, and that's part of that dark sky appeal of that area, but that's also one of the reasons there are not many cameras, and they apparently have been short on leads based on that.
Yeah, I will take note that there was a full moon this past weekend, and so, you know, when you're that far out in the desert and you're free of light, the moon is the light that you use, and perhaps that maybe that helps. Maybe that gives us some clues. Maybe for some of the cameras that they're trying to get from the neighbors along that route will help give some illumination, literally. Paul Mauro, Tucson, the Pima County Sheriff's Department. He's live now. And Paul, good morning to you. I saw something on X that you posted earlier, and you said, I go back to this statement. Who knew her identity? Please explain why you wrote that.
Well, I mean, you'd have to argue here that in light of what we've seen with the video, they seem to be taking the ransom note as at least possibly genuine. Either way, you'd have to say as an abduction as opposed to, let's say, a burglary gone wrong, where it would be very unlikely that you would abduct the inhabitant. You'd have to say then that the chances of abducting somebody who happens to be the mother of somebody who's nationally known and who could potentially afford a ransom are very, very remote. And so history has shown in a lot of kidnappings, especially those involving people related to celebrities, and there have been a few, things like Frank Sinatra Jr., Edgar Bronfman, that requires somebody who knows the terrain, who knew the house a bit, who'd been doing some surveillance. So anything is possible here. I know that we're near the Mexican border, but very often these things come down to somebody who had some insight, maybe not somebody who'd been in the house, but somebody related to somebody who'd been in the house, somebody who did, as I said, some surveillance or had delivered to the house. So I am sure they're looking very, very closely at people who are familiar with the Ring cameras and the area so that they knew they could get in and out without being observed.
Paul, the Pima County Sheriff, you're outside his building. He said this yesterday. At this point, investigators have not identified a suspect or person of interest in this case. While we appreciate the public's concern, the sharing of unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist the investigation. It feels like, you know, that's difficult in a case where everybody is trying to get some sort of information. There are so many questions. One thing I really wanted to ask you is, with this being originally a local jurisdiction case, President Trump called Savannah Guthrie. He has federal resources now helping. And when it comes to a ransom note, which we don't know if, I guess she's saying that she's heard reports of a ransom note. Maybe there's more to it than that. Instead of being, pretending that we're true crime detectives ourselves on our laptops, what does the federal government bring to this that they didn't have before?
Yeah, good question. So the feds can bring all that technical know-how, and that's not a knock at the sheriff's office. I'm sure they're doing everything they can. It's a relatively big agency. They have over 500 deputies. But at the end of the day, the international reach and the know-how of the FBI and their ability to get to tech companies, to get a hold of the phone company, to get to computer companies, things like that. And as I said, their know-how, they have specialized units that are dedicated to this kind of stuff. The only other agency aside from the federal agencies that I know of that have that kind of depth is NYPD, just because of the size. And you're going to need a lot of that here. You're going to be going backwards in her life to see the digital footprint there, to see if anybody had been, let's say, hitting the cell tower around her house that shouldn't have been, not just on the night of, but in the weeks leading up to it. And the ransom note that you bring in came in by email. And that's a vulnerability. Because assuming it's genuine, and let's assume that for the sake of argument, the perps here have to talk to the, obviously to the family and to law enforcement here to try to get what they want. Well, they got to make sure that they obfuscate where they are and who they are in doing that. Federal government can also examine what came in and look at, let's say, the crypto wallet, see where that has appeared elsewhere. There's a lot of stuff digitally that you can do with this stuff. And if you're dealing with people who really don't know that kind of, have that expertise, then that is a vulnerability that's potentially trackable.
Paul, Ed Smart lived this experience with his then teenage daughter, Elizabeth Smart. Several hours ago, he was here with our colleagues on Fox and Friends. I just thought what he had to say was so literally smart, and the content that he brought to, and the context that he brought. Just have a listen to what he said about the importance of the family keeping her name out there in the public.
I think that the family wants to keep the information flowing. It wants to also let her mother know that, bring her hope, bring her that they haven't forgotten her, that they're trying to do everything that they possibly can to bring her home. They know that they're trying to comply with everything that's being said, that they want to resolve this and bring their mother home. You know, in our case, we wanted to let Elizabeth know that we were thinking of her, that we are there for her, that she's not being forgotten. And, the support from the community is huge.
I think he hit on every point, Paul, and I think you'd agree with that in your short time out there. Do you think the family is getting that on behalf of Savannah and her siblings?
I'm sure they are. You know, look, one of the things that, again, previous cases, and these are very, very rare. Kidnappings are extremely rare, never mind successful kidnappings. Very often they come down to being hoaxes and things like that. But community support and knowledge is so important here because it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, if this is indeed a localized thing. And also related to that are police informants. Assuming that these are people that maybe have talked to people about their plans, or people that have maybe been released from jail who did something similar. Maybe they talked about it in jail. You have a jailhouse informant who comes forward. It's a complicated crime. Not only the abduction, but the idea of keeping somebody isolated and healthy, because obviously that's what you have to trade. I'm sorry to be so blunt. And so while somebody has to watch her, somebody else has to get food, water, figure out how to talk to law enforcement to try to set up a deal. Hard for one person to do that. And so you're going to leave a footprint as you go around doing that. And you hope that either an informant or somebody in the community says, you know what, this may be something, could be nothing, but I'm going to call law enforcement because I have a connection to this thing that bears mentioning. Those are the kinds of things that in the past have broken these kinds of cases, and I'm sure that's what they're looking for here.
Paul, one of the the entire video that the family put out last night was heart-wrenching, one of the saddest things I have ever seen. And in it specifically, Savannah says they're asking for evidence of proof of life, and she makes the point that in today's day and age, voice and images can be easily manipulated, and that it has to be verified, sure, that whatever they would put forward would be real. In your experience, because I know you pay a lot of attention to this issue, how would you know that today?
Yeah, the best way to defeat AI is to use AI. And so there's a number of ways that you can go in and you can look at the digital footprint that the AI leaves. They'll be able to figure that out. The other proof of life stuff here is the information they've already reportedly given. That is to say that the stuff that they saw in the house, reportedly they claim in the note that they know about something that was broken in the house that they would not have known about otherwise. You're going to have to look hard at the past. Is that stuff visible in social media or elsewhere? And that could be where a hoaxer picked it up.
Gotcha.
Paul, thank you. I would just add, the California Post went out, and maybe we've matched this as well. The Arizona news anchor who saw that email that you described there, Paul, she said it included a dollar amount and a deadline. And there were some red flags that was contained in that message. Paul, it's good to have you on scene. We'll be with you throughout the day. Thank you, Paul Mauro.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.